Hi everyone, it's me, Sailor Moon, and me, Sailor Earth, Ernest here. And today we're going to talk about, how folks in the Sailor Moon followership backed Ernest as Sailor Earth. Believe it or not, the Sailor Moon followership was open-minded as far as Sailor Earth went. When Ernest became Sailor Earth, this was like in 2008 YL, we didn't have the doll we have now at Ernest P. Worrell, so it was mostly just drawings that we got off the interweb or likenesses, and that was it. But everybody was open-minded about it. Michael Loggy 86, which is no longer on Euro, but when he was, he did say that he always thought it was a cool thing to see someone living in a drawing world. He's in Nick 2121, which ended up calling himself the Asteroid Outlaw, or whatever the English word for that would be, I guess. Ice Stone? I don't know. He liked it as well. And also Megan Pussmucker and her accounts over the years, going way back to the first one that she made. Now, for everyone out there using Christopher Smith, whatever, his, CK Smith 08, even he was very backing of it. But it doesn't mean that everyone in the Sailor Moon followership thought the same way or had the same beliefs. There were some of them in the Sailor Moon followership who liked to play gatekeeper and liked to make it out to be something that it wasn't. Oh yeah, Sailor Moon. Yeah, Serena, I know what you're talking about. Someone thought that me being Sailor Earth was a slight on Nako Takaguchi. When did this happen? Well, all this gatekeeping shit started somewhere in 2010 or 2011, while one of those 2 years. And it was first gatekeeping over, how someone liking the Toei Sailor Moon, and they thought that, we didn't have the right to say anything about the Deep Sailor Moon, and if we said anything, do you want me to unfollow you or something? Well, that's gatekeeping right there. And the big gatekeeping door, ended. It ended with this really bad yield off. The yield off goes that so-and-so, since we're not going to say her name or handle, was so pissed off, it was so irked and angered over it, that they went out to say that me, as Sailor Earth, was a slight on Nako Takaguchi, or however you say her kin name. Now, you think for that for a time. How could that, be a slight on Nako Takaguchi, who most likely doesn't even know I am Sailor Earth? And even if she did know I was Sailor Earth, there wasn't really much she could do about it either way. But I like to think she'd be more open-minded enough to say, yeah, I didn't make Sailor Earth, but if someone did in their world, that's good for them. And Omen Boy was the one who says, why would someone gatekeep over that? Why would it make a big deal over it? And he's right. Why would someone make a big deal over it? But sadly, someone did. But at the end of the day, that was the only one time that someone, wanted to gatekeep over me being Sailor Earth. But if you go look Sailor Earth up on Euro right now, you are going to see sundry mini films, mini shorts, but mostly films of Sailor Earth. A lot of them are going to be women, yes, but you're going to see a lot of them as Sailor Earth. And don't forget, someone's going to take that Nickelback song, makes a film, plays It Is How You Think of Me, and takes all the drawings, but sadly didn't take my drawings. You're right. You might ask yourself and say, does Ernest P. Worrell as Sailor Earth have any drawings? Yes, he does. But we're the only ones that have these drawings. And we're the only ones that can show them off, because nowhere else on the interwebs are you going to see these drawings as him as Sailor Earth. Well, that's all the time we got here. Hope you like this film, and we'll see you later.